From the day we welcomed 45 students and 5 professors in the fall of 1908, the University of Alberta has always been a people's university. Our first president, Henry Marshall Tory, made it perfectly clear. The U of A would be no ivory tower. It would help build a new province, and it would be inclusive, pragmatic, and devoted to community service, or as Tory put it, to the uplifting of the whole people.
This is your university station, CKU8.
That frontier spirit lives on, and it means that while we're one of the most respected research institutions in the world, we place equal value on teaching, on building fruitful partnerships, and on nurturing global citizens. None of this happens by accident. It requires strong leadership and a compelling vision.
We undertook an extensive consultative process and received ideas from right across the university community. It's all about providing our students with an exceptional environment in which to learn.
Her commitment to not only growing the university but growing her community is, I think, one of her strengths. We'll begin to create the vision for our downtown, which will be one of technology, of research, innovation, and I think that's where our city's going to go in the future.
Today's knowledge frontier is defined by teamwork, by the creative sharing of ideas across disciplines. In fact, the quest for that collaborative spark is now built into the very design of our new facilities.
There's a definite move to trying to make the connectedness of things become much more important and provide places that are informal, like the informal places, the places where people have chance meetings, bump into each other to have coffee or a sandwich. We can't plan for these things. We have to try and create the circumstances that allows it to happen, and we're finding that in a lot of North American buildings for this kind of use, these sorts of things are really important to discovery.
To do this, actually we need you to do it as much as we can.
Perhaps our biggest story of the past year resulted when a dentistry professor and 2 electrical and computing engineers found a way to regenerate dental tissue using ultrasound. The research has yet to be fully tested, but so far it looks promising.
This side transmits the signal, and this side is the sensor. For the user, it's very easy to use. It can be just putting on like this, and wait for 20 minutes for the treatment, then take it out.
The teeth that received ultrasound every day were having new dental tissue formed in 4 weeks. That was the first time in history that new dental tissue can be laid down in 4 weeks in human. We are right now applying for Healthy Canada approval so we can use it on human patients pretty soon.
One measure of teaching excellence is the National 3M Teaching Fellowship. At 28, we have more 3M awards than any other Canadian university. Sharing the 3M spotlight this year with Dr. Ivan Steiner in the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry is agriculture professor Frank Robinson, whose approach to Animal Science 200 is, well, a little unusual, to say the least.
So I decided, why don't we take questions that people have in the real world, have students research those questions, and then tell the real world. People think, well, you shouldn't mix humor and arts and music in a science course. Well, we did. And you know what? I don't think our quality of learning is any less.
Those kids really felt like they responded. I'm sure you got the footage. They really felt like they were a part of it and that there was a dialogue, and that's really important, especially for this sort of thing where that's the idea, is to turn them on.
Is it a chicken toy or is it a coat hanger?
If this weaning process is not carried out very carefully, and just like in all the research, you're actually making discoveries for yourself, not doing an experiment that everyone for the past 10 years has got the same answer to.
I really like the connecting with communities cornerstone we have at this university. So I try and connect with a different community every time. I like going on the road. We are the University of Alberta, not the University of Edmonton. Take it out into the province.
Of course, great teachers produce great students. And this year, for the third time in 4 years, the U of A has produced yet another Rhodes Scholar. Meet Travis Murdoch, intern, musician, global citizen in training.
Trav and I met, I think, in about grade 2. He was a little bit of a geek in elementary school. No, he was a cool kid, but he was very, very smart, and always winning all the awards and working his tail off to get there. And yeah, I knew he would always go on to do great things academically. I mean, he got me kind of volunteering, doing Heart and Stroke Foundation in early high school. Yeah, I mean, that's always just been kind of his character. So
currently, he is looking at inflammatory bowel disease. Make that diagnosis now requires a lot of tests, investigations. Travis is looking at a simple urine sample that would be able to make that diagnosis. It would be a huge leap forward. Travis has been able to do that in his summers and his spare time. An incredible young man.
I guess I'm just appreciative that I've been able to go to such a good institution. My goal is to take something from Oxford and bring it back here. As the university grows, etc., it's really nice to have people coming back and bringing new things, both in the arts and in the sciences.
We'll never make a sound, we'll never make a sound.
Nice take.
We began on the prairie frontier. But that frontier is now international, and our professors and students can be found on the front lines of any number of development projects. Political scientist Dr. Andy Knight, for example, is helping children recover from the trauma of war.
Over 300,000 children are child soldiers across the globe. Just imagine a child having to be forced to kill his parents. We're looking at a number of recommendations, which some of which are going to the United Nations. One of them is to create a child protection symbol, very similar to the Red Cross symbol. We all know that the Red Cross symbol is respected internationally by rebel forces, by government forces. When you see that Red Cross on a vehicle, you know it's off limits.
Physical education and recreation professor Jane Valentine and her students are also reaching out across the globe, helping disabled children in Thailand discover the power of play. And along the way, they're challenging their own worldview.
Its greatest value is in changing the lives of Canadians, to give them a new worldview, for them to understand that there's different ways of knowing and experiencing the world, and to connect us to our global humanity.
It's worth it. It's worth coming back broke. It's worth because you're rich in spirit, you're rich in other ways.
We cannot see the future, though we know our past.
As we look forward to our centenary in 2008, reflecting on just what has made us who we are, it will also be a time to consider what more we can do to keep Tory's remarkable legacy alive.
Work for peace and plenty.
Our purpose has always been, and will always be, the uplifting of the whole people.